Hey guys, so yesterday I went to my first gig and it was kind of like a death metal gig, which I'm not really into death metal because it was all like screamo and stuff. And but basically my boyfriend invited me, so I thought why not? I'll go for the experience and stuff because I haven't been to a gig before, as I just said it's my first gig. That makes sense. Death metal type because the festival was called. Let me tell you. So the gig I went to, or like the place where I went for the gig, was called Eradication Festival, and there was like different types of nights. Like last night was screamo, black metal's tonight. Yeah, so basically there was like all screamo, and I don't usually listen to screamo because for one, not to offend anyone, but I can't really understand what they're saying. But yeah, anyway, I went and the atmosphere was so good. Like everyone was so nice, and some of the bands actually came down and like you could talk to them and stuff after they'd done their like sets, because each person had about 20 minutes, I'd say. So there was a couple of bands that I really liked. There was three that like kind of stood out to me. One was called Basement Torture Killings, and that sounds like such a like rough name because it is. And basically, Chris was telling me that they wear masks and like costumes and stuff, and they kind of their inspiration comes from like murders from like the 70s and 80s and serial killers and stuff. I'll just show you some photos, for example. Like this is what they look like. I don't know if you can see that very well. The girl in the middle is called Millie, and we actually got to speak to her for ages, and she was like really cool. She was really nice. And we got to speak to the guy as well. We got to speak to this guy who has like a mask with like blood and stuff. And he was really cool too. We didn't get to speak to the other guy, but we did get to speak to them too, and they were like really cool, and they were actually really nice, and they were like thanks for supporting us and stuff. And then there was another band called, let me find it. There was another band called Gut Wrench, and the blonde guy was a vocalist. I can't remember what his name was. I'm just trying to find it now. And he was really cool. We spoke to him after because we were gonna speak to him, but then like he was like busy and stuff. But then as we were leaving, he was like chatting. So Chris was like, "Hey, sorry to interrupt and stuff." So we talked to him. We were like, you're really good, put on a really good show and stuff. And he was really nice, and he was like, "Oh, that means a lot, like the support and stuff." And that was just like really cool because like when they're obviously like doing their stuff, like they seem like they'd be really evil people, like, but then you actually speak to them and they're so nice. His name was Dean Brennan, and that was his name. And yeah, like you think like they seem really evil when they're like doing their thing, because that's what they just come across as, but then you actually speak to them and they're so nice. And all the people there, like I met some of Chris's friends who are like into the like metal thing, and like they were all really nice too. Yeah, and then there was one more band. This was the first band we got to see because it started at 1, but Chris was in work till 4, so we didn't go till like after he finished work. The other band was Visions of Disfigurement, and the guy in it again, he was like, he seemed like he'd be like really like like evil, whatever, but then you speak to him and he's proper like, "Oh, thanks man, like so nice and stuff." And I don't know if his name is on here. Let me just have a look. Oh, his name is Dan Bramley. If you want to check these out, by the way, I'll put all the links in the description. There was a couple of other bands too, but like these are just the bands that stood out to me, and I thought they were really good. Yeah, we also got like wristbands. Like this is a day pass one, which mine is ripped now because I had to take it off last night, obviously. But you can get like VIP ones, which I think were for the van members. I'm not too sure. And then you ignore that. And then you also had weekend ones. So because it was like Friday, Saturday, and today, I didn't go Friday because I was in work. And then today, Chris is going, but I'm not gonna go. but yeah, it was actually really good, and that's what I was going to say. You could get weekend passes which were £15 for like £5 per day obviously, and then you could just get these which were a tenner for like a day. So technically if you're going to go all weekend, it's obviously cheaper to buy the weekend pass. But yeah, and then just like they were all really nice, and even like the people there were really nice. Like you'd expect like them to be all like big, like, do you know what I mean? But they're actually all really nice, and I think that's like a big misconception within the metal like thing, is like everyone assumes that they're like these horrible people because of the music they listen to, and like the people who do like the screamo stuff, and like, but then you actually speak to them and they're proper like, oh thanks, that means a lot and stuff, and like, yeah. So that was my review on my first ever gig, and I would definitely actually go again, which I'm surprised because I honestly thought I would hate it, but excuse my voice by the way. No, I thought I'd hate it, but I actually really it was really good. So yeah, and all the, like I said, all the band members were really nice that we got to speak to. And also, something that really annoyed me, I seen Pritchard from Dirty Sanchez, and I was too shy to go and say like hello and stuff, and I'm kind of annoyed at myself for that. But yeah, because obviously he has a tattoo shop in town, but Chris said he always goes to that bar. Fuel Rock Bar, by the way, is what bar it was. But yeah. Anyway guys, so that was my review on my first gig. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm going to put that down. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye!